Ahoy!
Wow. Okay, none of your images are appearing here on
I can
OBS. This is weird.
smell that over the internet.
It was about to come out at like 2 when I was like, hold it. Hold it.
Hold.
Excuse.
Why is everybody's pictures not showing up? What the hell?
Everybody's
nice.
having
The whole
internet
party.
problems.
We killed the whole party. New characters don't have art yet. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's it. That's what happened.
Turns out.
All right. Well,
Not
hey, thanks everybody for joining us for the Heart of the Sea episode 10, Drowning.
That I am.
Last
Doesn't bode
session,
well.
Vapor and Z went right to the captain with news of the shadow being anathema. Vapor told Kazar most of what they knew about the creature, but they omitted that they had gone to Z first instead of Kazar. They talked about possibilities of how to keep the crew and the effects of losing them. They talked of the possibilities of Jorgen. Kazar explained some of his reasonings for being with the group and the fact that they have parts to play. The party actively chose not to give Jimmy back to his family.
For good people.
Kazar,
That's all.
Jorgen, Vapor, Z, and Mamoto all go shopping, enjoying food, walking, when Z sees the alleged man in the mask in a carriage and feels fear and dread for the first time. Jorgen sees the castle and knows that he has to get in there. The girls sneak inside, and Z is spotted and thrust with a blast of shadow magic out of the window and into the sea, with Vapor sneaking away. Tilia and Dragona walk around with Jimmy for a while before everybody meets up for some food. And that is when Andon stumbles inside as a storm rolls in, and the Naga reveal themselves. Have I missed anything?
Nope. That was actually a really good
That was pretty
recap.
comprehensive.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
The only thing, and it could be minor, it could be major. I don't know yet. But the only thing in my notes that was glossed over was Jurgen spent some time meditating, trying to get to know Neuron and like kind of make amends with him. And when Jurgen made the claim that he was a herald, Neuron was saying that
You're cutting out again.
and loserly.
Well, that's the best sound quality we've had.
What, me saying loserly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gone.
you're
It's gone.
better.
Interesting.
And it's
What
gone.
was? I'm going to the living room.
I'll be in a minute.
At
This-
least then there's not a wall.
This is bothering me so much that your images are not appearing. They were there last session. Oh well, I'll figure that out for next time. For now,
Fix it in post.
everybody is just blank black spot.
The stream hasn't been trashy enough to live up to our name.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. That's it. That's what happened.
It's just nighttime.
Yeah, it's just nighttime.
It's nighttime.
None of our characters have dark vision, so this is what we see.
Yes, exactly. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's true, but sure.
Speaking of dark vision, instead of picking up right at the bar where Andon fell,
But I want to.
we're going to turn back the clock. Years and years and years until we're back on the streets of the slums within Fall Hill. Known colloquially, if that's I've totally butchered that word, also known as Low Hill, and the streets are quiet. It is very late at night, and our focus is drawn to an inn because the lights here are lit. A warm orange glow of fire and lanterns. Accented by hard shadows, a much younger version of Z stands. Will you describe teenage Z for us?
Yeah. I mean, still tall for her age, probably around, she's now 5'10" as an adult, so 5'8". But way thinner. And it's hard to imagine Z, who's already pretty lean, as even thinner, but like sickly to the bone, even paler, like as pale as sheet. Long dark hair, goes all the way down to her butt. Split ends for like honestly the last like 6 inches, but still kind of like a darting intelligence in her eyes, even though she looks like this kind of sickly pale child. Probably, I guess, what am I, like 15, 16 here?
Something like that. Like you're just
Yeah.
kind of like butting into young adulthood.
It's a weird, awkward phase where because of her height, she almost looks like an adult, but then you look at the rest of her and she looks like a really stretched out, sickly child.
And around this young version of Z is a semicircle of thugs. In the center of them is a man with many crooked teeth, his face covered in stubble and a hooked beak of a nose. He's thin too, but not like Z. He's like almost emaciated. Z, you remember this face quite well as an adult. This is Fedek. And he ran a gang here in Low Hill that called themselves the Waterfront Boys, since this area bordered the Brother Sea, a large artificial lake in the middle of the city. And I think that even though Z is tall, like, being in this kind of situation, it's almost like they are still looking down at you because you are a stranger that has kind of entered the den. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your first step into the underbelly that is Fallen.
Okay, then I would have been about 14. Yeah. Eyes darting back and forth, just looking absolutely terrified.
Yeah. The fire again is creating these like really hard shadows, and you guys have been conversing for quite some time. This is the first time you've ever asked for a real job. And this Fedek produces a dagger that catches the light in just the right way for you to see your reflection. He says, "I think there's something you can do for us after all." And he gives you a grin that you're all too familiar with. You see it all the time, and you've even perfected it yourself. It's one where the smile never quite touches the eyes. Somebody who's used to spilling blood.
She looks down with feigned modesty, graciously accepts the knife, and says, "Of course. Happy to make myself useful." Sir.
We cut to a warehouse on the waterfront. All the other buildings are quiet with their lights out except for this warehouse. Just like the inn, it's still lit. Not nearly as well. There's only maybe a couple of people on the inside that you can see because of this light that are carrying lanterns. And I imagine you're kind of standing there, clutching the hilt of that dagger very tightly, like kind of justifying what you like the assignment you've been given, which is to kill someone inside.
That was in character. I don't know if that came through the mic, but she breathes in through her nose and breathes out heavily in preparation. Kind of like a look in her eyes, like a determined look, like, okay, I got this. I can do this. She gives herself a little nod, and then it's almost like she goes to step forward, then realizes that brazenly walking forward isn't the way to do it, and jumps to the side of the door to sneak in.
Yeah. You jump to the side to start sneaking in, and since this is kind of like a flashback sequence, I'm not going to have you roll for it. I'm going to take some assumptions here.
Okay.
And so, like, you move to the side and you're getting ready to start sneaking in when a hand comes out of the darkness and covers your mouth.
She squeaks a little.
Yeah. Whoever's grabbed you turns your head upwards, and with the little bit of light granted by the moon, you see their face. They are obviously a highborn of some kind. They've got that like defined jawline, those like high, strong cheekbones. His eyes are very blue. He's got very little facial hair to speak of. Very small, neat beard, very prim and proper. He brings a finger up to his lips as like a shh. And this is the first time you met the Lord of Whispers.
I just feel like the presence of this man is someone very powerful. So my eyes kind of just like widen, like, whoa. And then I just kind of give a nod and shut the fuck up.
With strength that belies his form, like, you're moved from the side of that door down a separate alleyway. And he very slowly moves his fingers from your mouth.
I just stare at him with this, like, trying to keep a neutral expression, but eyes still wide as a dome.
He gives you that, like, reassuring smile, and he says, "You're pretty brave. Almost barging in like that, girl, but that would have complicated things for me. You see, we need that man inside alive. And if you spooked him, we'd miss our chance."
She cocks her head with kind of an inquisitive look. No longer as afraid as she should be, because now she wants to know what's going on.
He, like, definitely sees this, and that smile widens a little bit, and he, like, using his hand, he, like, grabs your chin, and he kind of, like, makes you look up towards the rooftops. And he says, "Look carefully. What's wrong with those shadows?"
What do I see?
It takes a moment, but I think you remember this pretty vividly, because it was the first time you were like, I didn't know people could be hidden like that. And, like, what you thought were stars kind of twinkling in the moonlight turn out to be knives, as another person leaps down from this rooftop, completely silently.
I look at him in the eyes and just go, "Nothing but stars," with a smirk.
Excellent. Now watch them work. And one by one, the lanterns that light up the various rooms go out.
At this point, just like staring around at the lights going out, like moving my head with them as they flash out, like mouth open a little bit, just like a jar from like, whoa.
Thank you for being an appreciative audience member.
Mouth immediately shuts.
Here. And he tosses you a golden coin. This one, like you've had, I wouldn't say you've specifically had a gold before, but like before you left home, even here in Low Hill, people make like a gold a month. Like, so it's not uncommon to see that kind of currency. But something about this one's different. It doesn't have the Emperor's face on it. Instead, it has text that you couldn't read then. But in a language that you do not know except for this phrase, it's shadows in the dark, shadows for light.
I flip it over a few times, examine the coin as much as I can, until when I look back up at him, I'm pretty sure I know every detail on it, except what the words actually say.
Yeah. It says, it's rare that anyone ever sees us in action. Whenever you're ready to leave everything else behind, give that to one of the guards there. And he points to the big castle in the center of the city, the Emperor's court. They'll bring you to us.
I give him a nod.
But before you go anywhere, I want you to promise me something. And he, like, leans down, like, grabbing both your hands.
She says nothing, but in her head thinks anything.
He says, I need you to wake up. And you awake coughing and sputtering. You vomit out a bunch of seawater as you instinctively roll onto your stomach back in the present day.
Okay, continue.
A female voice speaks to you. It goes, easy now. That was quite a fall. You swallowed a lot of water before we were able to get to you. And a hand touches your shoulder. Just
Move my shoulder away from it and immediately look back to see who it is.
they like raise both of their hands. And roll a spot check, please.
Oh, I literally don't even have my character sheet up. Thought we were just doing flashbacks and then we were gonna leave it up for whether or not I die later.
Nope.
I'm getting better at this alphabet thing.
She goes, whoa, it's okay. Take a moment. You're safe. She looks to be human. She's got long blonde hair and green eyes. She's wearing a scale mail armor that almost looks like fish scales. You know? That they're very tightly woven together. And just a second here. I gotta change my layer map. Yeah, and she at her hip is a sword that is in a blue scabbard with a blue colored hilt. She has a metal, gray band across her forehead. But because of your spot check, you see a pair of gills on her neck.
Where am I?
Sorry, I'm getting a cramp in my leg. Oh, fuck, that hurts. Ah,
Oh no.
ah,
Poor guy.
the cramps. Ah, shit. Yeah,
Rub
this
it
is
down.
what they look like.
How? What age bracket?
She looks to be in like her late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Oh, did it not show you guys their... Oh, that just might be Firefox taking forever to load. Can you see the art there?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Okay.
hot.
She's very.
Yes, that is what she looks like.
I'll ask again.
On the streamer. Yeah.
Where am I?
You're in a cave about 2,000 feet below the surface.
Okay. Who are you? And in a broader sense, how do you survive down here?
She goes, my name is Anel, and it's that answer's a little complicated.
Sure. Okay, so are there more of you? Anel?
Yes. I was just waiting for you to wake up to take you there so you can recover.
Lead the way.
She produces a small ring, and she hands it to you. She says, put that on.
Can I tell what the ring is?
Do you have knowledge arcana?
I am pretty sure.
Go ahead and roll it.
I do magic things. Well, I know nothing. Also, can I do a sense motive on her? Like, what's her deal? Why
Yeah,
she
sure.
me? I'm not just gonna trust help. That's ridiculous.
Go ahead and do a sense motive.
Already suspicious.
She seems pretty concerned for your safety.
Okay.
As for the ring, you don't know what it is, but you have the feeling that with the sense motive, you have a feeling it's not malicious.
I take it and put it on.
Cool. It's a ring of water breathing.
I'm never taking it off. I have nearly drowned twice.
I was about to say, you've been underwater too many times.
Yeah. I'm tired of Tilia, so. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they lead the way. You descend down into a very narrow opening in the cave, and you have to swim for quite a while. I won't have you make a swim check since you're in no danger of drowning. But we are going to leave you there as we return to the rest of the party.
Yeah, fuck, I wanna know nothing.
I'm going to give you guys a choice before Ice you do your spell or anything. Do you guys want to battle this out, or would you prefer to flee?
Tilly would be leading to battle it out.
Yeah, seeing Andon fall down, I feel like Jorgen would definitely, go straight.
My
to battle.
question is, if we pick the, if we don't go into, battle map mode and we pick the flee option, what's the immediate consequence?
I would still give you the ability to heal Andon and pick him up and have him move with you. But if we were to enter combat, you might not have the opportunity to do that first.
And just an immediate look at these creatures. This is kind of the creatures that the person on the ship described.
He said, like, half snake. They look pretty half snake to you. So.
Okay.
There are 3 different kinds here in front of you. One of them is like no weapons or armor at all, like, but completely fucking built like a brick shit house. One of them has like a mace that looks very rusty, with a little flex-like green on it, some armor and a shield, and then one of them has 2 swords.
Okay. And to recap, Andon is here and down. Jimmy
Yeah.
is with us, and Z and Vapor are not with us.
Correct. Actually, I'll go ahead and move you guys
I'm
to
going
the map
to-
so you can see.
I don't
what I'm
know
talking
if everybody will obey them or not, but Kazar will take the captain's initiative to grab Andon and tell everyone to run. And choose the flee option to make sure everyone survives.
Yeah. You guys listen. Also,
Dragona,
this
you
is
know,
Mamato's token right up here, just so you guys know.
Very nice, very nice. That's my
And
buddy.
he words it retreat. He doesn't say run away.
Dragona and I will buy the rest of you some time. You're going to be a lot slower with an injured guy.
Ooh, do we do a party split?
I will be plenty fast. Retreat
Jorgen is
and
gonna
regroup.
Jorgen is gonna stay wherever Tilia and Dragona are.
You can take up the rear, but we're retreating and regrouping. There's no reason to stand and fight here.
Dragona's gonna look at Jimmy and then look at Tilia and just shake her head and say, just listen to the old man. Primarily wanting to make sure that Jimmy does not die today.
Yeah.
Especially not in his hometown.
Yeah, casting a glance down at Jimmy and Jorgen, Tilia will rip her spear and reluctantly nod her head. She's white-knuckling her spear, pointing it straight at the intruders.
Right. Ice, I'll allow you to roll the Cure Serious Wounds.
Alright. Cure Serious Wounds is... Third level. Radiate plus 1 per level. Max plus 15. Okay. That means we're level 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
3d8 plus 6. 15.
Sweet. Yeah. You like touch your hand to him, and you see those arrows that are kind of like sticking into him, like almost lift like up and out as you reverse the injury and close it up. A painful process, but he won't die.
Perfect. I pick them up and run. Throw them over my shoulder.
Okay. You guys start to run. Outside of the bar, it's complete chaos. Like, so there are naga in the front. You guys leave through the back, and as you leave through the back, you can see that there are buildings lit on fire. You can see packs of naga and like chasing after civilians. You can see some of like what few guards there are around here, like fighting in clumps. And I mean, you guys have a few options. Where do you want to go?
If Andon is here, the ship is probably overrun.
Yeah, that was Tilia's first thought. Is like, are the docks in sight? Is it just general chaos all around?
It is complete chaos there too. That's where the fire is coming from, but you can't see if your ship is engulfed in the blaze or not. But you know it's like it's not impassable, but I mean, like, good luck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's head towards the castle and try to regroup with Vapor and Z.
As if they let us in. They're gonna be on full lockdown if those two are inside, then they're not coming out.
There were
Unless it's
only
by
two.
means
There
of a
were
lawful-
only a few guards at the gate.
enough to snap the portcullis closed at a moment's notice.
You guys are having this conversation, I'm imagining, as you're like heading that way, and on your way you run into Vapor.
Vapor,
Yeah,
where's Z?
she's just hysterical. Nobody has ever seen her like this. She's just like mumbling, like they took her, she's gone. Bunch of nonsense words.
Tilia will
Trying to keep
run up
everything
and squeeze
together.
your shoulders. Breathe, girl. Tell us what happened.
Are you guys picking her up?
Not anymore.
Although, speaking of, if Tilia can't get anything more than babbling out of Vapor, Vapor will be going over my shoulder.
Uppies?
She
Where does my status tell me Z's direction is? Because I still have that up.
Down.
Vapor
Like directly beneath my feet.
No, but like, I mean, here, I'll turn on my. Actually, just look at the stream. My camera's up. But it's like, you know. You look. Yeah, you look forward and then it's like down. You know what I'm saying? Not directly, but downward.
As Tilia is trying to calm them down, Kazar clears her throat and speaks up. Vapor, I would know if Z is dead. They're alive.
she's so far under the water. There's no way she'll be alive for long.
This conversation has aroused Andon from his unconscious state. So it looks like I made it.
Barely.
That's all that matters.
How's the ship?
Burning. We didn't even see
Thought
them
as
coming.
much.
They just came right over the side, and how's that?
Good news is everyone who came ashore is still alive. Bad news is Z is separated and might be drowning. We're not certain. My spell says they're conscious and alive.
Do you know where they are?
He kind of points in the general direction and then lowers his finger slightly down. That way.
That's not very helpful.
I can tell their direction and their condition. But that's as much as the spell does.
He just nods. Well, I can walk on my own.
He nods and sets Andon down.
All right.
Well, we can't go to the ship, and we shouldn't go to the castle.
Well,
Where do we go? Suggestions?
Tilia will let go of Vapor and clasp her hands over Jimmy's ears. Well, there was a flyer. Jimmy's family's looking for him. Offering 25 gold means they're pretty well off. They've probably got at least some defenses. Might be our only shot.
I see.
It doesn't solve the Z situation, but it gets us out of our immediate danger.
He kind of looks out at the town. These creatures are kind of just ransacking the entire place indiscriminately, it looks like, right?
Yeah. Also, Jorgen. The voice in your head speaks up. It says, you need to make it to that castle. I heard you through Blake's mic and very quietly.
How far is the castle from here?
You just came from it, so it's like 1,000 feet.
Jorgen's gonna be straight with you, you know.
Anthony, I can barely hear you through Blake's mic. Hello?
Up to that.
Okay, there we go.
Just so you know, I'm realizing I was checking the light on my router. There's something wrong with the router right now. I'm getting.
He cut out.
But regardless, he's telling people that he's going to go to yes. He's just like, I keep being told that I need to go there, and the
voice in my head is not quieting down anytime soon.
It
Maybe
immediately
find
stopped
something
working
that'll
again,
help.
and now it started working again.
I heard enough. He's saying the voice is telling him to get to the castle. So that's where he's going. And I think from there, it's up to you guys whether or not you also want to go. It does seem like that's where a whole bunch of people are headed.
I don't know how. I don't know in what way, but I'm.
But you're... It's so weird that, like, whenever one of you cut out, we can hear the rest through the other person's mic, but it's very quiet. So I'm going to need that again, please. At your nearest convenience.
We can
I
hear
need
you
to
now,
try to
go.
get Z back. Trying to get Z back.
Yeah, Andon says, well, we can't do any of that standing here deliberating. We're either going with Jorgen, or we're going to have to find some other way to get into the ocean. And I think that the ships
Vapor,
are out of the
Jorgen.
question.
Vapor, both you and Z were at the castle. How did Z get from there, points at the castle, and then points in the opposite direction where he's sensing Z from, to over there?
We had a run in with the other me. I'm gonna refer.
The Shadow Master thing is at the castle.
Last Vapor saw, just to help you out here, last Vapor saw he teleported away before you fled.
So I'm going back.
Back
And
to the
I'm with
castle.
Jorgen. Yep.
Well, if they're going, I'm going. Ant says Andon.
Then we're going to the castle.
Dragona's just gonna like put her hand to her head, like massage her like forehead, like she's got like a headache, and then she'll just like gesture towards the castle.
The party heads off towards the castle. Now, what I'm going to do here is call for some group skill checks. Anthony and Blake are having a hard time communicating, so I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on connection issues hampering you guys for this session. So what I want you guys to do is pick a skill that you have. And we're going to have checks that you're going to use that skill that will help the party get to the castle. Or at the very least, the gates. Like, if one of you wants to use stealth, like, I'm going to use my knowledge to, like, help us avoid being detected. If you want to use, like, whatever skill in whatever way you can apply it to the group, you're free to roll that. You just got to tell me what you're doing.
So there's nothing in particular that we need?
Nope. It's on you to justify how that skill's going to fit.
I want to try to intimidate any Naga that we may pass, or any, like, hooligans that are taking advantage of the confusion, and I want to make sure that we don't look like an especially appealing target.
Okay.
I would like to move silently and stay in the shadows, scouting out ahead and trying to warn them.
Okay.
Dragona's also gonna intimidate. Just have like sword in hand, giving everyone the side eye. All the naga, you know.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm scared.
I guess I'll use survival to kind of navigate the way there.
Okay.
I don't really have any skills at all that would be relevant to this.
That's just because you're not creative enough.
I guess Jorgen
Jorgen is what?
He's keeping his eyes peeled while doing what, Anthony?
Wow, 2 5s.
Oh.
Okay. That's still a majority of you guys. So, yeah, you know, like, you guys, Jorgen, you're distracted right now because the voice in your head just keeps talking. It's been like he's not saying anything of particular substance, but you can hear him just kind of murmuring in the back of your head the whole time, and it's kind of just distracting you. Kazar, you're like, I feel like your survival is distracted because you are contending with trying to direct things in this chaos, but also, like, you feel the direction that Z is in, so it's kind of like confusing your navigation. Tilia and Dragona, yeah, you guys are already intimidating as fuck, carrying big weapons and just being big people. And you've got that, like, up and present for everybody to see. And Vapor helps coordinate you through most of the Naga and other groups of people that are just kind of like running around. So you guys make it to the gate of the castle, and it is packed. There's hundreds of people trying to crowd their way through. The few guards there at the front are like pushing them back. Like, you know, it's a mad panic, but if they just like start letting people in, it's going to be even worse. Do you guys try to go through the front?
I would like to slip around and see if there's another way in from like the side.
You remember the way that you and Z snuck in.
Okay. I lead the party that direction.
Okay. You lead the party. You go through a few other alleyways, past a few handfuls of buildings, and down one particularly long and narrow alleyway is this point in the wall where it's just low enough for people to climb over. Like, get a little bit of a boost, you can hop over it. You and Z, being dexterous as you are, were able to scale it with ease. But you hear an encroaching group of Naga. What's the game plan, guys?
Fuck up anyone who gets close enough to do it.
It's like this offensive perimeter, you mean?
So we're kind of in this alleyway.
Yeah, so I don't have a map for it, but yeah, you're in a long alleyway. It's literally like a 5 foot by 5 foot room. Like that's how much room you have. You have 5 feet in front of you, 5 feet behind you, and like if you reach your hands out, you can touch the walls. But if you go, you can scale the wall here given enough time. Blake can do it easily because she did it before, but the rest of you are going to have to make checks, set things up to do so, etc. So I'm asking, like, how are all of you planning on getting over the wall?
Can everyone who's not the two dwarves make climb checks relatively easily?
I can.
I think mine would be okay. Yeah, I can.
Okay. I cast fly on myself and I carry Jorgen over the wall. And I just fly over it.
Okay. You just fly over it. You
So
grab
me and Jorgen are over.
Yeah. You grab Jurgen, you cast fly, you get over it. Dragona, Tilia, Mamato, Andin, and Vapor are still on the other side. And the Naga are getting rapidly closer. Dragona, you try to scale the wall, and because of like a mix of the rain and this wall's like general, like it's well made, but it's old. So like you grab a piece and it like crumbles. We'll resolve yours here in a second, Alex. But as you guys are trying to scale the wall, Andin looks towards the group of encroaching Naga and then back at all of you. He says, I don't think we're gonna have enough time to get over this wall.
I've only been kind of half listening. Do you guys still have Jimmy with you?
Yes.
Yeah, Jimmy's just like on my back.
Yeah. So he says, I don't think we're gonna have time to get over this wall like this.
Is it just me and him left down there?
No, it's you. It's everybody. We haven't resolved Tilia's yet.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, the only people over are Jurgen and Kazar. Yeah, so he says that. Then he looks at Vapor.
Can I do the same thing I did last time to get over? I don't remember what that was. Because I know it wasn't a climb check.
I think they said you can just go over.
Yeah, you could just go. If you don't want to hear what Andin has to say, you can just go.
I'll listen to what Andin has to say. But
Okay. Andin's been like, hey guys, I have something to say. And you're all like, we're getting over here.
I'm paying attention. Like, I'm looking at him intently, hearing what he has to say.
Yeah. Okay. Jeez, guys, come on. Let me do my thing. I'm a storyteller. Yeah, so you guys are not going to make it over the wall in time with this Naga group in tow. And so Andin's pointing this out. He says, if we continue as we are, somebody's going to end up getting left behind.
In that case, Dragona will just pull out her flaming sword and get ready for a fight.
He goes, no.
She'll give him like a weird look. Like, what? You don't wanna fight?
You all need to go. One person here could hold an army, granted they don't have artillery with them. They have to come single file. It's more important that you all and Jorgen get to that castle.
What, so you get to nobly sacrifice yourself and no one else gets to?
It's not exactly noble.
I would
Look,
say so.
I don't know how to say... I didn't know how to say this back on the ship, but... Vapor.
It's eaten by a naga.
Vapor, you've got yourself a mighty fine group of friends here. And I'm sorry I wasn't there to see to you whenever you were growing up. And that's not all. When you all were attacked in town, I set that up. I paid the men that shot you all with crossbows. I paid the thugs that jumped Tilia. I tipped off the ship that attacked us on the sea. But seeing all of you look out for each other like that has warmed my heart. So consider this more so what you're owed than a noble sacrifice.
Well, if even half of what you said is true, you owe us a hell of a lot more than that.
It's the best I can do. I'm old, I'll slow you down. I can hardly climb that wall. But I can still use my swords.
Dragona will definitely see this as like redemption for like his honor that he lost, and will like just give him a good nod and try to climb up the wall and escape again.
And Z is not here, but tell her I'm sorry too. Whenever you find her.
Singular T.
And all of you are able to climb over the wall, because Andon buys you enough time to just take 10.
What the heck?
I have fly active still. I was just setting Jorgen down and flying back. That lasts for over.
No, they would have been on you guys. It was literally like, you have a second to talk, that's it. Also, it's more dramatic.
No, 'cause my
I don't know. I think it's funnier if he makes this big noble
Like, I
sacrifice
can't load
and then
that.
Kazar saves him.
Nope.
I doubt it.
I'm not allowed to fly back over the wall after setting Jorgen down.
All this happened while you were setting Jorgen down in the first place. It's not that you're not allowed, it's that the timeline just doesn't match up. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, you pick him up, you start going, and it's like, hey guys, they're gonna be on us in a second. I'm gonna go do this thing so you guys can go over the wall. See ya. Then you're setting Jorgen down and everything happens. If you can do all that in less than 1 second, prove it, and I'll let you do it.
So as I'm setting Jorgen down, they're coming over the wall already, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay.
And there are the sounds of battle on the other side.
Can I attempt to fly back over the wall anyway?
You're trying really hard, and I appreciate it. Sure. Roll a spot check as soon as you get over the wall.
I think Jorgen is the only person here that's like a genuine soldier, and I think he's done the least fighting this campaign.
You're old. It's fine.
I think genuinely I've been in combat like twice, maybe 3 times.
Okay, I'll give you one action. If you really want to save Andon, I'll give you one action.
This thing has no.
It
I
might be.
kind of just want to grab them, fly up, and take any attacks of opportunity myself. Because I'm at full health, and just tank the damage for him while just picking him up and flying him straight into the air.
Okay. Opposed grapple checks. Because he's not going to willingly let you pick him up.
Interesting.
I think it's really funny when a character has to deal with the aftermath of not actually nobly sacrificing themselves.
So I just
Kind of embarrassing.
how does
It is kind of embarrassing.
So there's a, if you go on under your like stats wherever your base attack bonus is, you'll see a grapple option underneath like melee and ranged. If you just literally roll that, there's usually a whole lot of other things happening with it, but you're in the air and nobody can really reach you because they don't have, these naga don't have reach weapons. So since you're above Andon, you're just barely out of reach. And you're able to grapple him, so you're not going to take an attack of opportunity. But again, he's not allowing you to simply grab him because he's made up his mind.
Okay. I'm going to spend a faith point to add 1d6 to it.
Go for it. You son of a bitch.
That's 8, 9, 10. That's 21 on the grapple.
You fly back, and you grab him, and he fights you like every step of the way. He's like, no, this is what's supposed to happen. This isn't how it was supposed to go. And then, like, you lift him up off of the ground. And yeah, you fly him back over.
Yeah. I fly him back over and set him down and say, then I guess this time I've taken fate into my own hands. And he gestures around, showing that everybody's on the other side of the wall. No one's getting left behind this time.
Andon does not reply, but he looks a mix between, like, extremely angry and extremely upset. Like, in the sad
Those are
sense.
synonyms.
You can be upset and be sad, you know, like.
I guess that's true.
But yeah, like, he's like, wow, like, what the fuck? But yeah, you've saved him.
Yeah, Kazar just kind of folds his arms and gestures his head towards the castle for everyone to move out. And he pointedly waits for everyone to start walking before he does himself.
Okay. I assume everybody starts walking, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, but Dragona might be a little upset that he took away his right to honor his past regrets.
Well, if that's something you want to bring up now, go for it. Otherwise, we're going to move on.
I think she'll keep it quiet to herself for now, but
And will very begrudgingly follow.
Kezar brings up the rear.
So guys, I'm listening through my phone on my data. I'm gonna unplug my router and plug it back in, see if it makes a difference.
Okay. I was actually going to call first break here.
First break.
Okay, cool.
Yep. We'll give you guys about 10, 15 minutes. So we can all sort ourselves out. I felt I got a little snippy there. I apologize.
It's all good.
I have no clue why.
He's got to do some rewriting.
Yeah, well, a little bit that, but not like a... It's not like game breaking, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know why I was like... Like, oh my god,
I'm going to take full advantage of the
Yeah.
break.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just felt that knowing what Kezar knows about Andon because of what Andon told them, he would definitely put him like go out of his way to at least make the attempt.
Mhm.
Like short of seeing that Andon's already dead, he was going to make the attempt.
That was the attempt for Kazar's sake, or for like mine, or for like Vapor and Sis? Because I know that.
Kind of
Fairly often.
The answer is yes.
kind of a cookie from every jar? Yeah. The answer is yes.
See, the funny thing
Kind of a
about
little
that
bit
is-
of everything.
the
There was
funny
just
thing
yeah,
about
there was a lot of reasons for him too.
that-
We didn't catch most of that, Blake.
I'm trying to talk through Anthony's cell phone because he's doing something to the router here.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's trying to do.
I think he said he's trying to reset it. Leave it unplugged for about 30 seconds and then plug it back in.
Yeah, part of it was doing it for Vapor and Z. Another part of it is that family is extremely important to Kezar.
And maybe while we're figuring that out, I can figure out why the hell none of your portraits are appearing.
Did you do it?
Where's my be right back? There it is.
Was it not properly plugged in?
Yeah, it could still. This was having a hard time actually tightening. So I think that was causing an issue. And
You guys been able to hear me okay?
And I was unable to figure out what's going on with y'all's portraits, so... This is really annoying me.
what if I hold the reset button? I know I did a full unplug, so like I don't think pushing it would make much difference. But let's see.
Yeah, the absent one still works.
I need some pin,
You need what?
something pin.
Thin?
Yeah, like a needle, big clamp sorts.
I don't have anything like that.
A pen you can unscrew and use the little cartridge tip.
What about screwing a little tip?
Like a pen you could unscrew and use the pen tip.
Oh, you were giving me a.
Something long and thin.
I got you. You were trying to be helpful. I
Some
appreciate it.
Can it fit in your urethra? Try that.
I need something. I tried. It did not work.
We would have heard if you tried, so I don't think you did.
Oh.
There were not enough screams of pain coming from over there.
You mean moans of joy?
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
So are we back in action?
Yeah.
Yeah, changing the subject from urethral sounding. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yes. No more games.
Where were we? That's right. What was that, Blake? You got something you want to say?
I said we made it up to the wall.
Uh-huh, sure. I'm watching you.
I heard.
I'm watching you.
What the hell do you mean?
Okay, yeah, you guys make it over the wall. You approach the castle. A stream of people are starting to come in through the front gate. And I mean, the castle's doors are open and unlocked.
Let's go inside.
I've been here before. I'll lead the way in.
You lead the way in, and it is much cleaner than it was before. There's still that smell of burnt hair and flesh, but the bodies are gone, and a whole bunch of the destroyed furniture has also been cleaned up. Some of the townsfolk have, like, you guys enter, and very shortly after you guys get inside, townsfolk come streaming in as well.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. As they push past and, coming to take shelter, there are still several of the Baron's soldiers around, just trying to get order. When one of them spots you, Jorgen, and I want you to roll a history check.
Let me attempt that from my phone. Oh, that's my mic. Give me a sec. You might just have to roll for me or something.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do it.
For some odd reason, it's not even, it's saying I changed my password, but I don't think I've touched my password since I made a Roll20 account.
You got a 4.
Yeah, well, that's not helpful.
Yeah,
I have no idea who that guy is.
you see them turn to somebody else and nod. I'm going to have Mamato roll as well.
Yeah, there we go. I knew I didn't change my password.
Mamato rolled worse than you did.
What did he
Wow.
roll?
A 3.
Oh,
That's what we call an ouchers.
You observe that guard turn his head. He nods to somebody that you currently cannot see because of the crowd. You know, you're only a dwarf. You can't see over their heads. And they begin to approach.
You know, I'm a walk towards them. I'm going to approach them as well, and say, Ben, can I help you?
He looks at you very stern-faced for a moment until the person that approaches is you see them and they are a half-orc. And that's when recognition strikes you.
Oh my goodness. Is it the other guy from my battalion?
It's both of them.
Yo.
Vresh and Gelt.
I was gonna say I'd tell you about their names if I had internet stuff. Notes. Jorgen would kind of stutter almost, and he's like, "You're my man," and he would honestly, he's just gonna go in for a hug with one of them.
Yeah,
At least.
They were looking at you very sternly, and then the minute you start speaking up in recognition, the facade drops. And they're like, "Oh, should have known there was none of this past good old Jorgen."
Well, of course. How the hell did you guys end up here?
We can ask you the same question. It looks like the hells are breaking loose out there. What's going on?
A lot, my friends, a lot. We have multiple people down. There are random half snake folks trying to kill everybody. One of our people has been. We're getting chased down by shadows, and someone else has been tossed under the ocean. Truly, I don't know what's going on. Times are crazy.
Sounds like a lot. Things aren't so good on our end either. We found the Baron just dead in a hall.
You found the Baron what?
Just lifeless. On the top floor.
Ooh, yeah. Forgot to mention he was dead.
Is the rest of the party here? I know I walked towards them, so.
I mean, if they followed you, then yeah, sure. They're not bothering to hide their words.
Well, no, I just meant I walked away from the party to approach the guards, so I just wasn't sure how far I had to walk. Basically, did the party hear what was just said, or should I tell them what just was said?
I would have stuck together.
To
So
see who would have heard, and you see Tilia pick her jaw up off the floor.
And you just see Vapor just kind of tapping her chin.
Yeah, Jorgen would look around and he says, that he would tell his old friends, give me just a moment. He goes over to the party and he says, well, while that's certainly not a good thing, I will say that's one less thing to worry about here.
Yeah, I might have forgotten to mention that though. Shadow Guide.
That's true. You knew? That's kind of an important detail. I understand that your sister is. I mean, it's not like she's dead. We don't know she's your sister. It's not like your friend's not dead. I'm confused. It's got to. Wait, didn't Andon just tell us this?
Yeah,
You were not
We
present.
do know this now.
Oh, that's
you
true.
weren't present. You don't know.
God damn it! I was put on the other side of a wall.
You're gonna out of the loop still.
God damn
Um,
it.
Let's be honest, you weren't climbing that wall.
Real quick, are you guys hearing Blake? Is she coming through her mic?
Yeah.
I have her muted on my phone. Okay, cool. I keep putting my phone towards her in case you miss her. My light is still yellow, but it sounds like things are picking up better, so that's a plus. So Jorgen would go back to his old friends.
you're fine. He was in my bag.
And he says, so with I don't exactly know the code around here. With the Baron gone, who takes lead? What do you do?
Well, it's never happened in a situation like this. Normally, it's just whoever's got either the most money or the most men. That's it.
Kazar looks around. How many of the Baron's guards are around?
You see like a dozen at most. Things were not very pretty whenever we came in.
It certainly doesn't sound like it.
So we don't know what happened, but we're down a lot of men.
Jorgen will look at Kazar and then look back at them, and he says, "Not that I'm in any particular position to say, but I believe I speak for all of us when I say you've got us."
I mean, it's always good to have a comrade by our side, but what can you bring?
About 30 people.
Nah, it's gonna be a lot less than that, but out of
Yeah.
but
Half a ship worth of people.
Okay,
The
fine.
people standing in the room more likely.
Like 10 people.
Everybody back on the ship is most likely dead.
Yeah, I kind of forgot the ship was on fire and stuff. Shit.
Also, they
He's
hate
trying to
us.
be.
So Jurgen is just such an optimist that he just assumes everyone made it out okay.
He is.
Kazar kind of clears his throat and thinks for a moment. Jorgen, we talked about the path you wanted to pick before. I think this might be one of those crossroads.
I believe it is. That's why I didn't ask.
He
you
kind of
if you
gestures
looked
to
before.
us, gestures to the only dozen or so of the Baron's men remaining in the castle, and then kind of gestures to his friend that had been talking, kind of pointing out what they just said about who succeeds a Baron. It's your choice.
as you're standing there, kind of deliberating, Baranon arrives with Ula and Morland in tow.
Jorgen will go over to them and just check in and be like, "Are you folks okay?"
Morland is still very wounded. Ula's fine. So is Baranon. He's like, half the town's on fire. There will be no getting back to the ship. At least, not till something puts that rager out.
Did any more of the crew survive?
Not that I know of.
Hmm. How crazy is this? I know it's like a big fire, but like how raging is it?
Like the doors open and you're kind of like you are in an elevated position. You can see that like despite the rain coming down, like there's this bright orange glow that you can just see. Stretching for hundreds of feet.
Hmm.
What will it be, Jorgen?
I see we need to take charge. Yeah, you're gonna just start looking around to everyone and say, is there anybody here that is magic that could possibly try to move some of the water onto that fire? We need as many people trying to put it out as possible.
Not magic of the magnitude we need. But you do.
Is this something that I could? I know you said it's raining already. Is there a chance I could try to make it rain harder, or would that be a no?
I mean, I'm sure you can try.
You could most certainly try. But I'll say that you're still being pulled. But like you're in the castle now and the direction is shifted to up.
Well, you know, if I go up there and there's nothing, at least I'm more elevated. That could possibly give me more of an advantage being closer to the sky. I don't know. I'll go up. Yeah. Are there stairs that are
follow.
going up?
Yeah. Yeah, you start going, Vresh, Mamato, and Gelt all follow you. I assume most of the party does.
I do.
Yeah, I do.
I do as
Talia
well.
does.
Yeah. Baranon and Morland and Ula all also follow you. And the procession makes its way up.
Alright. In preparation for whatever is decided next, I cast guidance on Jorgen.
Awesome.
Also,
Whatever he decides to do, you'll have extra dice.
Hold on.
Holding on.
Okay. I accidentally connected my phone to the internet, and so I was disconnecting it, letting it go back to data, so I don't get patchy. Okay, so we're all going up the stairs. What do we see once we get to the top of the stairs? Anything? Nothing?
You get to the top and you leave the inner part of the castle. You are now back on the outside. You can smell the salty air of the sea, the storm. And for you, Jorgen, you start to feel almost like you're young again. Something about being this high up, nearer the clouds, just makes you feel so much stronger. and you remember the black bundle.
Yeah, he's gonna reach down in his pocket. He's just been keeping it like.
No, it's not something that can be in your pocket. You would have it like on your back.
Oh, it's like a big bundle.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless, he was keeping it somewhere where he could grab it really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he grabs it and he says, I'll know when to do it. And he opens it up.
You open it up, and inside is a banner.
Is it ooh.
Courtesy of
My favorite color.
Courtesy of one George,
Yo.
Hey.
who unfortunately could not join us for this reveal. The banner of the Herald of Storms, lost to the ages since Jythar defeated the Dark, the sea has been without its herald. The Herald of Storms is the champion of the sea, lord of the waves, and bringer of destruction. Now that the light is waning and the world is threatened with the inky black of the void, the sea has called their champion, a member of the new kind, immortal. And as you raise that banner, lightning strikes.
Strikes me?
It strikes the banner.
Okay.
And the electric impulses that come from it travel up both of your arms. And you remember one of the lines. He will be marked twice by lightning.
Oh, and that was the second time, huh?
Or the fact that you have 2 arms.
I do have 2 arms.
Yep. And you can feel your skin burn, and it leaves a brand of a lightning bolt in each of your palms. You have free access to the lightning bolt spell at 5th level twice per day.
Yo. I fucks with it.
And go ahead and just roll me a D100, and we'll see if the storm answers your call for more rain. Oh, yeah.
I can't say it.
61.
61.
It starts to pour. And in with the increase in rain, you also call bolts of lightning down. From here, with the power of the Herald flowing through you, you can see that 1,000 feet away like it was right in front of you, and you start smiting groups of naga in the street.
Oh. Jorgen is gonna try to be like as close to the edge as possible, so like as many people down on the ground can see this happening.
Now,
Because he needs a win.
Baranon drops to his knees and puts his hands in front of his face in almost like a prayer, and he starts to pray.
Is Baranon down on the ground, or is he up with us?
He's up with you guys.
Um,
Ula and Moreland stare in shock. Mamato just observes you, as well as Vresh and Gelt. What's everybody else's reaction to this?
Dragona would give him like a surprised look, but like, can we see him like striking things down and stuff?
Yeah, like he glows almost with like a brilliant radiance every time a bolt comes down. The only Jurgen, the only thing going other than of course maintaining this going through your mind is you hear the voice inside of your head laughing the entire time. And you are unsure if it is him or you that is doing this.
So, what was that about
this will
every previous herald going batshit insane? Yeah, Tilia's gonna be taking a step or two back. You know, like the static electricity alone is enough to make her want to back off.
Baby's watching at a distance, expressionless.
Kazar stays standing. Kind of since they took a step forward, he just sees like a step behind them into the side now, but he hasn't moved. And he observes, kind of holding a neutral expression.
Still holding the banner like high into the sky. Jurgen would turn his head towards all of his friends and say, "Perhaps I can be different than all the others."
And the Naga flee, and the storm breaks. And we switch back to Zeke.
Forgot I existed.
Yeah, for a minute there.
Okay.
You swim through many different caverns and streams. You observe large sea creatures that dwarf almost anything you've seen on land. Whales larger than ships. All kinds of exotic colored fish. And now leads you to under the water, a large coral reef. But there are no fish here. There are people like her. And you are quite the spectacle.
My mage armor still in effect?
No, you were unconscious.
Oh.
Do you want to cast it on yourself?
No. No, I'm just wondering. I imagine that would be even more dramatic.
You are led.
What's
Go ahead.
her name again?
Anel. Annalle.
I knew it had an A. Cool. Alright. And now where are you taking me?
You're the first human that's been here in, well, ever. So I'm taking you to see the elders.
Why don't humans ever come down here?
Mostly because they can't survive.
Why did I?
I don't know, but when I found you, you were barely alive.
Hey. Why did you save me?
I don't know.
We'll just chalk it up to my good looks. And I wink at her.
She winks back.
Oh, yes, I blush.
I ship it.
Yep. Z and Fish Lady. Yeah, and you start to see people that, while they're still similar to Enel, are also different. While Enel looks a little more human, you see people that look, part of their skin is dark black, the other is bright white, almost like some of these sea creatures you have passed, in real life terms, like an orca. And you come to a large, hollowed out coral bank. The door is a massive seashell. And Anel moves out of the way. She says, when they talk to you, just be respectful.
Is there anything about me that makes you think I wouldn't be?
No, but you never know.
You bow or curtsy? What's the custom?
Cast your eyes to the floor until you're spoken to.
Will do. And I make intense eye contact because that's funny.
When you come in, there are 4 people kind of sitting at a table. They seem to have been in the middle of a conversation whenever you arrive.
Okay. Eyes cast at the floor.
You hear one of them speak up, and they say, "Young Anel, what is the meaning of this? Who have you brought to see us today?" And she very shyly, like she's doing the same. She was looking at the ground. She looks up and she says, "I've brought a human." And you hear somebody bang their fist on the table. You say, "A human here? Impossible." It's like, no, but they are. Just look at them. That same voice that smashed their hand on the table says, "You may look up, speak."
Hello, elders. Thank you for allowing me in your presence. I am human, and I had assumed I drowned. But I'm here.
There's too much misinformation.
And I don't know why.
That's all.
Getting a good look at them, you can see that 2 of them look very similar to Anel, and the other 2 look like that, kind of like that orca person, like I was saying before.
Wow, am I already meeting the parents?
No, when I say like Anel, they look human. They just have gills.
Gotcha.
And one of them is this like very old looking woman. She says, "'Cause you have Uana's own luck."
Can you repeat that?
"'Cause you have Uana's own luck."
Okay. Thank you. And what's that?
That is. They kind of like look at each other and say, "That's the goddess of the sea."
Did I know that? Was that a stupid question?
It's not. No, you wouldn't have. So here's the thing. Like, I did a big Pantheon change before this campaign. Moana used to be a standout sea goddess in the lore, and then I've changed it. Nobody considers her that on the surface anymore. So
Okay.
she's a lot more niche. So yeah, no, it's perfectly in character for you to not know who she is.
And why did she bestow me her luck?
That is a wonderful question. One that we'll have to figure out together. Come, take a seat.
Okay. I glance over to Nell like, okay, should I?
And I was
Just
like,
join
yes,
the
yes,
other.
this is a great honor. Do it.
Thank you. As I pull out a seat. Can my savior join us, as she may know about how I ended up here? I gesture towards her. I'm trying to be nice. She saved my life. You know, she should get this seat too.
Anel is leader of the Reef Maidens. Of course she has a seat at this table.
Okay, whatever. Fucking nerds. I give her a look like, okay, when I asked who are you, that could have come up. I don't say that, but I make a look.
And we're going to take another break here because I really have to use the bathroom.
Ridiculous.
That was some good ass timing, my dude. My brother just asked if he could have a tour of my apartment, and I was like, I mean, I'm in the game. And then you were like, we're gonna take a break right now.
Yeah. Hey, 2 breaks, 1 session. Who would have thought?
Sir.
Who'd have thought?
Hello,
Look
sir.
at-
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah. Sorry for the now 30-minute break that we took.
Whoops.
Oh boy. Yeah, I gotta get the music started again, and where was I? I was at like the 20-minute mark. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you're sitting here around this table. There's an old half-fish lady, an older gentleman, and then almost like a mirror image of that, but with these like half-orca type people sitting on the other side. Anel sits next to you. The old woman says, my name is Jenna, and this is my husband, Ral. We are the leaders of the Aventi. And sitting across from us, I have so many names, is Kagan.
How do I spell that? Hagen?
Kagan, Kagan.
Hagen. Okay. Ready for the next one.
And his sister, Sharam, Sharam. They are the leaders of the Darfell.
Honored to meet you all. I'm Z, leader of no one. She smiles at her own joke.
Yeah. Jenna, like, returns that smile.
Good.
Says, "Now, how is it that you found yourself in our care?
Well, I came across a creepy shadow man, and he yeeted me out of a window, and I thought I drowned.
These are fish people. I think you'll have to describe the word "eat" to them.
No, they know.
Yeah.
It's an old ancient word in this world.
Yeah, sure.
They'll obviously know.
Yeet is definitely a word.
Thank you.
And so what did you do to incur this one's wrath?
Have you guys heard of a herald from down here? This time smiles meekly, like, oh, I hope not. This could be a lot of trouble.
All four of them look at each other and then look at you.
I'm not, I don't think. One, but I was traveling with one. And my friend Kazar, some sort of priest or holy man,
Real quick, so we can both stop.
says I'm something called a wild card. I don't know if that means anything down here either, but that's all I know.
Kagan stands up, and he says, "We're not going to listen to this from some surface dweller, are we? There hasn't been a herald for over 1,000 years."
I'm not saying he is a herald. I'm saying that's what everyone's saying about him. Maybe it's fake.
He points like this big finger at you, and he says, "I was not speaking to you, surface dweller."
Give him a blank stare. And then deliberately look at the table. Like a challenge, but also noted. Fuck you, but noted.
Yeah. Yeah, Gina, like, kind of intercedes in your behalf. She goes, "Now, relax, Kagan. She made it down here. No human has ever done that before, and you know just as well as we what that means. That means the Naga are back."
Yes. Still looking at the table. The Naga are back. We were attacked by them.
You feel all the eyes, like, shift back towards you.
One of them grabbed me. And tried to pull me down.
Well, then it's good that they did not. One of their favorite pastimes is eating humans.
So I've seen the aftermath.
Very brutish creatures of the dark.
They attacked a ship. A ship that had the Shadow Weaver that threw me over into the ocean on it, but it seemed he survived. It seemed he called upon them? Forgive me for being naive, but I don't understand the history behind this.
We wouldn't expect you to. It's so old that even those among us no longer remember.
I look up to whoever that was and look them in the eye and say, "Please tell me what's going on."
That was Rao, Guinness' husband, that said that. It's just, it's not enough for us to just tell you. We'll have to show you. So, we'll give you a room to sleep in. Make sure you do not remove that ring.
I nod. Like, yeah.
And
I am never removing this ring.
we'll allow you to get some rest for a day, maybe 2. And then we'll have to be off.
Oh, to where?
You're the first human to come down here in over 1,000 years. And you bring word of a herald. Our wise people say that a human close to a herald would come down to lead our people back to the surface.
Well, that can't be me. That's not me.
That's what we're going to find out.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's not me. As I said at the beginning, leader of no one. I won't be leading anyone anymore.
In the meantime, please enjoy our hospitality. Our waters are yours.
Thank you. You've all been more than gracious. And I look around and nod at every one of them politely, including Kagan.
He grumbles very angrily under his breath and storms out.
I smile wider at him, like a pleasant smile. Okay, I'm just gonna be nice now. But I don't leave the table. I'm not really. I look at it now, like, do I leave? I just look at her, like, oh, what do I do?
And now, she ushers you out of the room and she says, "Please don't mind Kagan. He believed that the herald would be one of us."
To be entirely honest, I believed it was all a bunch of bullshit. So
You're not alone.
So what do I do now?
Well, they're not going to let you just leave. That's why you're stuck with me.
Not that I mind. I wink again.
She winks back. And
There's no winning.
they it's very impressive that you lived through all that.
The drowning or the eating?
In a sense, both. But mostly the drowning.
Yeah, I don't really think I had much to do with that.
So, why don't you let me fill you in on exactly who we are and what we do here?
Please, I've been so confused.
I know, it's been a long time since we've had to explain our ways to anybody else. I am Anel of the Aventi. Inside was Kagan of the Darfel, in particular of the tribe of the Unwe. And we used to be the people up there.
Okay.
That was so long ago that most people forget, including a lot of us.
What happened that made you guys come down here?
Nobody remembers.
Well, shit.
We've fought the Naga for thousands of years. And we thought we had completely driven them away. This news will spread amongst all of us very soon. It's almost like finding out that some storybook creature is real. You know, they've been gone so long they've become legend.
Well, I assure you they're just as scary in person as whatever your legends say.
I'm sure.
Is there alcohol under here?
Yes.
I could use a drink.
Yeah. She leads you into a large coral building, and it's built in such a way that there is actually a pocket of air.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know how the mechanics of drinking underwater would work very well.
Yeah.
I've never tried that. Like drinking in another
Straws, I guess.
underwater. Yeah.
Like, I bet you could drink like a juice pouch underwater pretty easily.
Yeah. Give me my alcohol in a juice pouch. I mean, I'm just gonna follow her lead. This is her watering hole.
Yeah, I mean,
No
like,
pun intended. Also, this place sounds super pretty.
yeah. Oh, it's made entirely out of coral. The tables and chairs have been like fashioned in like very intricate detail. All of it is made out of the same material. So at like, all the whole space is used. Nothing goes to waste.
Yeah, this whole time, Z's just like not been hiding the like wondrous look, and she just looks around and is like, "Are you sure your people need to go to the surface? This place is gorgeous. I would never leave down here."
Some of us want to stay, but who knows?
What do you want to do?
I've always wanted to go up there.
Well, even if I don't end up leading everybody, I could make a pretty good tour guide for just you. Should I wink again?
She winks first.
Oh no! I don't know what to do.
Yeah, she winks first. She goes, I think I would like that.
Cool. Is there anything else of substance, or do we just get a drink?
You guys just get a drink and start, like, I guess drinking kind of in silence.
In silence? Okay.
Well, I mean, you said you didn't have anything else, so...
I mean, I guess small talk. I could make small talk.
I'm not gonna have you small talk with me, so...
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't have anything else of substance.
Got you, okay. Yeah, like, you drink, you pass the time, eventually you are shown to a room in that same central coral building, and you fall asleep. You have dreams of your past, and I think this is the first time, like, you've had moments where there isn't a lot of action, but, like, this is the first time you've had a minute to, like, actually reflect. So, why don't you tell me, like, how is Z feeling?
So Z's just sitting there, like, staring up at the ceiling in an actual bed, I suppose, for the first time in months and months.
Yeah, and and like you're a human, so they've like given you a spot where it's like there's an air pocket, so you're not just wet.
Cool. Are my clothes like uncomfortably damp? Am I starting to smell?
Oh yeah, like.
Okay, I'm gonna hang that shit up to dry. So I guess I'm sleeping nude because I don't want to be all gross. Like,
Fair.
like when your clothes clings to you.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, so I get out of the water and I like suddenly realize like how gross my clothes are. And I'm like, oh god. Like, fuck that. So I just lie in the bed, staring at the ceiling, like, shit. The world's a bit like, he's one of those people who just like doesn't think about the world at like a grander scale. Like, it just doesn't matter to her. She's kind of like, none of that shit is important. Let's just focus on what I gotta do now. Next target, Fall Hill's big enough. And now she's been sent on this like world altering mission. She's like, why did they send me on this? This wasn't for me. Now I'm wrapped up in all this stuff. And it's just like her world has suddenly gotten like logically she knew how big the world was, but she didn't actually connect with it in a bigger sense. And now it's even bigger than already known. So she's having this just like existential crisis. Like, holy fuck. What is this place? That's what's going through her head.
And the night passes. Up on the surface, enough time passes after putting out the fire and kind of getting everybody getting their bearings that the status spell does run out. Z's position kind of moves throughout that time, but it changes. They're no longer unconscious, but eventually you do just kind of lose the signal. And yeah. You guys have kind of turned the castle into almost like a headquarters.
Damn, we a Baron now.
I like we a Baron now.
But hey, speaking of Jorgen, what's up? What are you doing? Like, you've been given your own like quarters. You've got like Mamato's still like your bodyguard, but now you've also got Vresh and Gelt who like are with you almost 24/7.
Was it Andon? Who did you say fell to their knees and started like praying?
That was Baranon.
Where is Baranon? I kind of want to talk to him.
Baranon
see
has
if
had like the wildest change since yesterday's events. And that is like he went from being probably the person who was like the most hostile to you being Baron into like he's going around and like basically presenting you as like somebody to worship.
Yeah. Jurgen's gonna go. He's gonna go to Baranon, and kind of talk to him about that. So
As soon as you
does
approach,
Lord-
he like takes a knee and he says, "My Lord Harold, what can this humble servant do for you today?"
Jurgen like puts a hand out for him to take.
Yeah, he immediately takes it.
He pulls him up to where he's standing, and he says, "Baranon, you're not a servant. You've been a friend up to now, and you can continue to be so."
He shakes his head. He
Why the
goes,
sudden change?
he shakes his head. He says, "Yeah, we are all servants to the Lord Harold."
Is that what you've been taught to do?
No, it is what's natural and right. Well, I saw you save us all from those naga. I know the power that you hold.
Exactly. You say that you say this is what's natural and what's right. And I'm sure that's the way that other barons in the past have wanted to be treated, but I am trying my best to prove that I am not like the others before. I want to protect everybody. I want to save my name. I don't want to be worshipped. I do like being respected and not hunted down all the time. That part's nice. But otherwise, I need for you to think of me as the same man. I'm just a little more powerful now.
You are humble beyond your years.
I try my best. So, what's the word you've been spreading to everyone?
That you are the Herald Reborn, that you are the one destined to unite the Isles.
Okay, I can deal with that. And how is everyone responding to that?
After what you did last night, very well.
Okay. I can also work with that.
But there's still
Has
the...
anybody...
Go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead. Have you or anybody perhaps gotten an update on Z?
No. Kazar's connection ran out sometime last night.
So, where's Kazar actually?
Yeah, where is Kazar?
This is the next day
Yes.
or later. Okay. How early in the morning is it?
It's like 6. Like,
6.
yeah, it's like crack of dawn.
Is there? We're in the castle, right? Is there like a place in the castle that's like, I don't know, a church area? Medieval castles usually have some place in them that's like a little shrine or a place with a couple of.
Yeah, there is.
He's probably there doing his meditation and getting his spells in order. With it being 6 a.m.
Okay. Well, before going off to potentially find Kazar, because I don't know that I don't know that Jurgen would just suspect you would be there. Um, he would look back to Baranon and ask, and has anyone done any investigating on the Naga?
Other than picking smoking corpses out of the ruins of the city, there's no sign of them.
Were any of them perhaps carrying anything that could be of use to us?
He shakes his head. This is none that anybody's willing to touch.
Not that they're willing to touch. I might be willing to check anything out if there was anything. I think that we need to get to the bottom of this. They fled for a reason, and we don't know where it was that they were fleeing. if they're heading to the other isles, then perhaps this is our chance to start trying to make treaties.
Hmm. Uh, yeah, my Lord Harold, there's a another small matter that should be dealt with, and that is other heralds or false heralds now. What's to be done about them?
What have you encountered any of these?
Oh, you remember what we were out here in the first place to do?
That is an excellent point. I suppose we should gather everyone else and start searching.
For them?
I suppose.
Or, I mean, I don't mean to question your wishes, but are we friend or foe?
I think that's something we would decide once we get there. If they pose a threat to us, foe. If they come in peace, friend.
As you wish.
And in that case, if you would please do me that kindness and go gather some people together, I need to go find Kazar.
Yeah, he bows low.
And on that note, Jorgen would just kind of walk away and attempt to find Kazar. I
Assuming
would say
this,
where the church area might not be like the first place he would check, that would be one of the later places. Because Kazar is kind of a religious fella.
yeah, I mean, when you eventually check there, that's where he is. Is this area? Is it was it like a is it like an actual church area with pews, or is it more like a smaller shrine
It's more like a
where you
smaller
like?
shrine to uh, the people from Fall Hill who are religious in nature would view it as the shrine to the saint of the sea, Uana.
Is it more like a you there's a mat on the there's like a soft rug on the ground, you kind of kneel in front of the shrine.
Yeah, and you can leave offerings there if you wish.
Okay. Yeah, so he's kind of, you know, in front of the shrine, legs crossed in that kind of, meditation pose with his eyes closed.
Uh, he would walk up and not to disrupt you, just kneel down beside you and try to follow suit with your prayer, worship, whatever's going on here.
Yeah. He's completely silent. He's facing the altar, but his eyes are closed. And after a minute or two of silence, he speaks up. Is there something I can help you with?
I've I've been rather concerned about Z, but I do have a glimmer of hope for her.
My spell is worn off by now, but It lasted long enough to know that they did not drown. They were still alive
Precisely.
when the spell ended. So wherever they are, the sea hasn't claimed them.
That was exactly what I was thinking. Perhaps some of the people here might know of, I don't know, if there's a cave system or anything of that sort. If she didn't drown, that means somehow, some way, she found a safe spot. And surely, if she stumbled upon it after being thrown out of a window, the people who have lived here their entire lives might have seen it, or at least heard of it. You're certain that she was okay?
As far as I could tell, they were completely unharmed. They certainly were not dying. They weren't suffering from any major negative conditions the spell could detect. They were conscious and alive when it ended. Though they were
Then I
still
feel
perplexingly in a downward direction.
and I feel that may be our best bet. You know, I want to solve everything that's going on here, but I feel we need to take care of our own first.
I can't recast the spell from here. It requires touch.
Well, where did it point last?
He just thinks for a moment, and then I imagine there's like a window he can see the sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of uses that as a reference, points in a direction, and then tilts his finger down. All I know is the direction they were in, not exactly how far away they are.
Well, even that is enough. Just something to talk to the locals about.
It certainly couldn't hurt to ask around. But unless we have a way of going under the sea to go looking for them, for the moment, they are likely on their own.
Agreed. But it's always good to try to find some new information.
True.
I was
Either
I
way,
was
at the
just
very
starting to warm
least, when
back
they
up
make
to
their
her.
way, either way, at the very least, when they make their way back, they'll find a castle waiting for them. I imagine that should be fairly amusing to them.
Yeah, I suppose it would be. Um. Also, I was wondering, you are currently a captain without a ship. Have you have you thought about looking anymore for a new vessel?
He thinks about that for a moment and says, I was a captain of a pirate ship by necessity. We'll see what the future holds. if you want to continue sailing the sea, then we will need to get another ship in order to do so.
Well, perhaps that should be pushed a little bit further forward on our list. I say. Go ahead.
What comes next is a choice you all will have to make.
I'm not quite used to being a leader yet, but I feel that that's the path that I'm going to be following from here forward. I'll have to get used to it.
Even those born into leadership are not born with the knowledge of how to lead.
That's a good fucking line.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Hot damn.
Wise words from a wise captain. Even if it's a
Please.
captain out of necessity.
Please, until we have a ship again, it's just Kazar.
I like that. As long as you're fine not hopping on the bandwagon of Lord Harold.
Of course.
I sent Baranon out to gather a bunch of the others. So I think we can have a large meeting, start figuring out a ship, perhaps figure out if anyone knows about any way that she could be alive down there. I
Well,
think
I
this
feel
is
that
our
they are
prime time to
definitely
gather.
alive. The question
Oh, I
would be
know.
how to get there or if to wait for them to come to us.
Exactly. It's not quite a if they're alive, it's how they're alive. This is our time to get as many answers as possible. We should
Where are we holding this
probably
meeting?
go get together. Wherever the largest room in this castle is. I feel there's got to be quite a few of us.
I will join you as soon as my meditation is complete.
I'll leave you to it. I'll go find the others, inform them of our plans.
He goes
And
back
you're
to his
gonna walk away.
prayers.
All right. That is where we're going to end session.
All right.
Right.